actually grab this, move it over here so you can get at it better.
Okay, so show me
These are the
exactly.
suction cups right here.
Okay.
There's 2 of them.
Okay, and clean it with what?
Just use a alcohol prep.
Okay. So,
Yep. The small ones.
yeah.
Yep.
Not these.
Right.
Okay, do they need to be wiped off after or just with that? That's it.
Wiping once.
Like chem wipe
No.
after or no?
You don't have to. You mean after?
With alcohol, then with.
Yes. When you just wipe them with alcohol and that's it.
Okay.
Make sure you get to where the alcohol prep is not. You're not seeing dirt on it anymore. That it comes
Like
off
that
clear.
white stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, if they're dirty, you get brown stuff on there. Yep.
Okay.
So make sure those are clean.
What about the white stuff where the filter goes?
That can be wiped down with a. What I use is I just take a gauze pad, 4-inch gauze pad, and get it wet, and with just regular water, and just wipe it down.
Okay, I did the same.
These pads here, these can be replaced as needed. If they're looking dirty and you want to replace them, go ahead and replace them. This one here just pops out of there. Just pops out. And you always want the rough side up on this.
Yeah,
Can
I
feel
wouldn't
it?
be able to feel it because of the-
Smooth.
Oh yeah, I
rough.
can feel it. Yeah.
These get replaced when we do the PM, and we do a PM once a year. This one here also can be replaced if it gets where it's not clean, looks all dirty. We replace that also once a year. But this here, you just pull straight off. And this, the fluid is going to be dripping down from here, so you want the rough side down on this one.
So I wonder if we have any of those, or I need to
You
order
should.
some on hand. We
You
have
should
some.
have some. yes.
Okay.
Feel in here.
Oh, okay. Good. The part numbers are there. Okay, good.
But like I said, we replace them when we do the PM annually. The only time you need to replace them is if they're getting really ugly.
Okay, so another area where it was really like dirty, like here, was
Yes.
kind of in the.
That
yeah.
needs to be wiped down. That is that little poker there. That's what pokes the hole in the filter. This little guy right here. So you want to wipe that down, wipe this area down. You can actually push this filter, get it out of the way. Just push it out. And then you can wipe this area down here.
Okay.
Just with
Again, alcohol, pat the alcohol wipe.
Yep, or you can use you can use water on that, like a gauze
Okay.
pad, a wet gauze pad,
Okay.
because that gets built up on it also.
Yeah.
I cleaned it last night inside.
Yeah.
It
See
also-
what this is it has a spring in it, and this hinge is right here, and because of the liquid dripping down, that hinge gets gummed up, and then that spring
doesn't
doesn't
move,
there's
yeah.
no spring action anymore.
Okay.
And make sure you're cleaning the drip trays that are underneath it. I cleaned all those today.
I didn't even know those were
I didn't know those were there.
There you
This
go.
is news to me.
Yeah.
The carousels, those need to be cleaned, and it's on here. It tells you when to clean
Yeah.
the carousels. The best thing to do with those is just blow them down with like an air duster.
Yeah. We do have air here.
Um,
Yeah.
the only thing is probably the biggest thing is you're going to get glass buildup inside of them.
Right,
if you don't-
from the
just-
slides.
Yeah, from the slides. Now the areas you need to clean here is wipe this area down here, wipe this area down here.
And
there-
that's with what? Like-
Again, gauze
water.
pad.
Okay.
Just a damp gauze pad. If you have DI water, you use DI water.
Yeah. Yeah, we do that white.
These, you can just wipe these down with a chem wipe. You see there's a sensor right there. That's the barcode reader. And then up above that, there is a slide. There's a slide ID reader. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
You get way down, you can see it, the bottom of it. And it just has a lens on it, just like these. And then this here, this is the
Yeah,
carousel
because
detector.
it is a screen, so yeah, it could
Yeah.
get dirty.
Yes.
So let's say what area, be careful not to touch. Seems
Just,
like you were touching everything.
don't pull on hoses
Yeah,
because those can become disconnected.
yeah.
If you really are adventurous, sometimes the problem with the draining liquid is the fittings are so small that over time you might get a clog, or you might get something in there, a clot that
Yeah,
gets stuck
it
in
comes
there.
from the specimen.
These can, I don't know how adventurous you are, but these can
yeah,
actually be
none of us really are. We're
okay.
scared to touch anything on here, so
Okay. Those.
so we probably rather not
All right.
touch it.
All right.
Right? Anybody?
Okay.
But these are superficial, so we can do those.
And then this area here, make sure that sometimes you can get labels that will peel off and get stuck in here.
Yeah.
Just make sure there's nothing stuck in there, and just again take a gauze pad that's damp and just wipe this area down here and this area here.
Okay. We can do that.
And just make sure you're emptying your filters every
Yeah, it
after
won't
every
run
batch.
if we don't empty it.
Good. And then also, I noticed the levels of your alcohol levels are very low. This one is actually better than the other ones. The alcohol should be to the top of the staining rack. Okay. And they probably showed you make sure those are pushed down in there tight.
Yes.
I do
Okay.
that. I push it down.
Yeah, because you feel that click.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, that sounds good.
And again, if you, like I said, you can, if you need to move these things around.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
You can do that. It won't hurt them.
Okay.
And this can be moved out of the way
Yeah.
if you need to. If you've got a slide that dropped in
I'm
there.
afraid to touch that glass.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes customers will forget to put a staining rack in the
Oh,
bath,
and it starts going.
and then it would just drop a slide in there because it doesn't know if the staining rack's in there or not.
Actually, it does.
No.
It detected.
Well, the rack wasn't
It detects
there,
if
but the
there's a
bath
slide.
was there.
It will detect if there's a slide in the staining rack, but it doesn't know if there's a staining rack in there. Yes, it knows that the bath is in there, but it doesn't know if you have a staining rack inside the bath or not. And it'll drop a slide in there without a staining rack.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It did yesterday.
So in that case, you can actually open this up and retrieve the slide.
Find it. Okay. That's good to know.
Or if you got a slide that somehow it dropped and got jammed somewhere, you can reach down and retrieve it. Okay.
Sounds good.
Any other questions?
Mm-mm.
We're good.
Okay. I got